Well, Andy, since we last spoke, confirmation of another new face coming in the summer. Tell us a bit about Rodri and why you brought him to the club.
Rodri's a talented individual, and he's been at Scarlets and sort of effectively become third choice, not had enough rugby, and he's a player that played against us this year. And with our scrum half position, this signing was done before we knew about Dwayne's injury, and before the signing of Martin Roberts. So it's done as a long-term project. He's a young player, and we're excited to have somebody as talented as him to come into the squad, to be pushing with Will Cliff and what we thought was going to be Dwayne Peel. But with Dwayne's injury that he's had, it's really, so that's why I brought Martin Roberts in, was to get that cover there, and Martin understood that coming in. So what we have is, we've got now, so if Dwayne gets himself fit, we've got 4 talented scrum halves, along with Andy Uren and Craig Hampson, who are currently under contract. There's discussions around them for next year as well.
Yes, I mean that's a position where there's potentially a lot of competition for places next year, isn't there?
We've got to remember that, that Dwayne's at an age, and if you think what's happened to Jones, and there's a number of players that we've had that were injured, how they came back from their injuries. We've had a few retirements over the last few years, with Ross Rennie that occurred, Ryan Jones. So it's that stage of a player's career where we've got to make sure we've got cover for those players if they weren't able to come back from injury.
And talking of Dwayne, his short-term goal is just to get fit and back on the pitch again.
Yeah, exactly, and we want him back fit, as quickly as possible. And he's working hard to do that. But there's no assurances, with the injuries that he's had. He's been out for quite a while. There's no assurances that that always happens. So you need to take, we need to have cover, particularly coming into the end of the season, which is why I brought Martin in, and having signed Rodri for the following year.
And in terms of further recruits, is it a case of watch this space?
Whenever we make signings, we'll announce it. There's nothing else currently there, so we are looking at 10s. I think it's the area, particularly with Adrian Jarvis going down, is an area where we don't have the full cover that we need, and it's a concern. And for next year as well, it's an important position for us. So 10 at the fly half is an area where we want to see if we can secure a signing at some stage. Sure.
How is the team looking ahead of Saturday in terms of fitness and injuries?
Adrian Jarvis will be out, and Luke Arscott's got a sore knee, so we're looking at that. But overall, the guys came through pretty well.
Is it too early to say how long Adrian will be out for?
Yeah, he's got to have scans yet, and we'll just see the full damage that's there.
And let's be positive, players coming back from injury. For example, we saw Gavin Henson practising before Sunday's game. How close is he to a return?
Gavin's really close to coming back, which is great, and we expect to get Ian Evans on the field in the next couple of weeks.
Rotherham, your old enemy if you like, are you surprised that they're not higher up the league table this season, or was it a case of them punching above their weight in recent seasons?
Well, a number of changes have occurred at Rotherham. They've lost some key players for them that were the heartbeat of the side. They've also lost their coach, who moved on to Was. So having a new coach, they've been in games, but they've been unfortunate to lose a number of games that they've played in. The defence of the driving wall's been an issue for them, and you saw that on Sunday where Doncaster scored 4 tries from the maul. So we think they're a good side, and they like to play good attacking rugby. So I think it should be a quality game.
It's a very different venue to Ashton Gate. Do you have to prepare differently for a game like this?
Mentally, you do. It's a little bit smaller, and obviously the underfoot pitch conditions will be quite tough. But it's all about our game management. That's the key area for us to get that right. So we're confident in what we're doing away from home. The last time we lost away from home in the Championship was Cornish Pirates a year ago yesterday. So there's been a great attitude shown from everybody in terms of the approach taken and how to manage the game away from home and managing the opposition. So there's an important focus for us for that, and we're under no illusions how tough every game that we have has. The fact there's a cup final for the opposition that we're playing against and their supporters, and it's you're pretty close. The supporters are pretty close to the sidelines, but overall, we're in good shape. Guys are starting to understand what we're looking for in the way we're playing, and I thought the game management by Will Cliff and Adrian Jarvis was exceptional last week.